I'm Brandon Blankenship. I sell and live 45 minutes west of the best city in the world, aka Chicago. And today we're talking about do likes equal leads and the truth about social media. So my goal for the next 15, 20 minutes is just give you guys something you can take in your business today to get leads really, really quick. I feel like the way that I use social media is really simple that anyone can do it. A little about my business is that I'm a solo agent. Last year we did just over $32 million in real estate, just over 70 families. And out of those over 72 families, 21 of those directly came from social media, okay? Extremely cold. They didn't know me at all, just directly came from either Instagram, YouTube, or Facebook. And then for me, social media just makes my whole sphere of influence business super easy as well, okay? When you think about social media, the best way to think about it is that you just want to be seen before you're known. It's really just getting a lot of brand recognition, okay? For me is that I always think is that if you put two agents in a market, totally brand new market where no one knew who anyone was, and the one agent on the right was great at marketing, but had average sales skills, and then the other agent had amazing sales skills, but really average marketing. The agent with amazing marketing would probably do more business because they can be seen. Practically my whole business on social media was just based off this quote, was that fame is the most efficient business model. So with that quote, with fame being the most efficient business model, is that when it comes to social media, all you gotta use is hyper local content, okay? Don't make videos on, you don't need 20% down to buy a house, this is how you sell or buy a house, or whatever the case may be. I can speak on every platform for Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube, but we're gonna try to just focus more around Instagram as well as YouTube, okay? So when I talk about being a local expert, I think the biggest thing to just understand is that the reality is that the average person transacts or makes a move once every 7 years, okay? And with that being said is that real estate content's boring unless you're actually buying or selling a home. That's the only time when it's like appealing or important to you. So the big goal when it comes to social media and using hyper-local content is being able to stay in front of those people for the next 6.5, 7 years for when they're actually looking to transact, basically. And a lot of that comes to do with hyper-local content. So for me, a lot of the really good hyper-local content that works really well in my business is just creating really shareable content. At the end of the day, if someone is moving to your area and it's a relocation buyer and they're focused on the area, they're not looking up who's the best real estate agent in Naperville, Illinois, right? What they're looking for is they're looking for where are the best schools to send our kids to, where should we live, where are the best coffee shops, where are the best restaurants, things along that nature. So for me, when I'm using Instagram and YouTube and Facebook, is that I'm focusing all my content just around those buckets there, okay? A lot of the content that does really well too is development, right? I think right now, if you're ever watching the news, is that the local news channel, wherever you live, they're always posting about the bad stuff in the area. When our goal with social media is to promote everything that's lovely, that's great about our area, and all the things that are coming soon, and be the news for those people, okay? I think the biggest thing when it comes to social media is just getting eyeballs on yourself and having really good omnipresence as well, okay? So for me, when I'm creating content is that I'm not really specifically creating Instagram content on like how to buy a house or you need 20% down or you need 3.5% or 5% down or whatever. At the end of the day, the people just want the content about the area where you live. And the reality too is that a lot of people that reach out to me on social media now, they always tell me is that, hey, Brandon, we've been following you for 3 months, 6 months, a year, 2 years. And I think that's important to know because Ryan Leak talked about earlier was that he mentioned something that resonated with me really well was that he said that when he started getting a lot more booking engagements for speaking, he asked one simple question was, how'd you hear about me? And all those people would tell him, we've been watching your content for 3 years. And that resonated really well because at the end of the day, when it comes to social media, if you go back to any of my content the last 3 to 5 years, it was really bad. But you just get better with the more reps and the more reps that you do with the content, okay? So if you're gonna create specific content right now, what I would suggest is that you should Google a specific town that you work or you live in. And for example, for me is that Naperville, Illinois is a town that I work. And I would just Google Naperville's best restaurants. And then what I would do after that is that I would copy the whole list of the best restaurants in Naperville, and then I would just throw it in ChatGPT and have ChatGPT make it a list format of the best restaurants in the area, and I would post that on social media. Because the reality too is that that piece of content of the best restaurants in a specific area that you live in only resonates to the people that either one, live there, or two, are making a move there. Like personally, if I saw something on my Instagram feed about the best restaurants in Atlanta, Georgia, that's irrelevant to me because one, I don't live there, and two, I'm not looking to relocate. Probably this weekend it's really good for me because like we're here right now, but besides that, not really at all. So being the local expert is just kind of like the biggest piece of the puzzle when creating social media content, because that's going to put you in the algorithm to being seen more often than not, as well as putting you in front of your ideal client too. I'm going to kind of combine being social on social media and then depositing, then going for a big withdrawal, okay? So a lot of my content just kind of stems from just providing a lot of value, right? So if you look at social media like an ATM, okay? Tommy Choi is a really good real estate friend of mine, also with Keller Williams, is a really good mentor. And when I first started in the business, he just told me is that, Brandon, just provide value into people's lives, right? You want to treat it like an ATM. You want to deposit, then go for withdrawal, right? On social media, you're not going to ask the consumer for a referral right away. You're not going to ask the consumer for business right away, right? You're going to provide as much value as you can, because then when you start having conversations in the direct messages and you're providing all this value, whether it's giving them the best restaurants, the best places to live, or anything else in between, all the developments around the area, you have the opportunity to go for the big ask to see if they want to buy or sell real estate, right? I think one thing to note too is that my goal on social media is just to be friends with everyone, right? Ryan Serhant talked about, or said a great quote too, is that people hate being sold, but they love buying with friends. The whole goal on social media is just to make a lot of friends really, really fast, okay? When I say be social on social media, I feel like a lot of agents miss the boat on this because we're in the business of marketing, right? I talked about how 21 out of 72 of my deals last year was directly from social media, super cool. But the rest of those 50 came from agent referrals, as well as my sphere of influence. I'm born and raised in the Chicago suburbs. I know a lot of people there. A lot of my college buddies are buying their first homes and everything like that. But when normal consumers and people in your sphere of influence use social media, a lot of times they really validate the like as well as the comment. While we're in the business to market ourselves and put ourselves out there, right? Like I'm totally shameless on what I post on Instagram and Facebook and everything like that, because like I know I'm marketing myself 24/7. But when it comes to being social on social media, you see someone in your sphere of influence post something, it's good to take a step back and just realize is that a lot of times the consumer really validates any like or any comment they get on their post. So our goal is to make them feel very, very seen, right? So when we make them feel very, very seen, it's just as simple as hearting their post, dropping a nice, sincere comment, and actually take the time to comment, right? Because they're gonna see that. And what I talked about earlier is when I started on social media, it was just about reps and reps and reps, right? It's just pouring value and just like an ATM, it's just depositing, right? Because at the end of the day, for me and my sphere of influence is that I personally don't care if someone in my sphere of influence does a deal with me next month, next year, or in the next 10 years. But what I do care about is that if I can make them feel great about themselves, great about what they post, and become their friend, because even if they don't do a transaction with me for the next 10 years, if they can refer me 2, 3, or 5 pieces of business, that's a win by itself, right? A lot of people also ask is that, how do you get business really, really fast, okay? I think the easiest way to get business really fast on Instagram, like you could probably do today right now, is that if you live in an area that has a lot of different wedding venues in the area, you should go on those Instagram pages, whether it's wedding venues or it's country clubs around the area, and look at their tagged photos in their Instagram, right? a lot of times when people get married is that they always tag all the vendors, whether it's their makeup artist, the DJ, the venue, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And the reality to it is that a lot of those people that maybe are getting married might be looking to buy their first home. So if you're looking for business really, really fast, it's going on those Instagram pages and looking at who is getting tagged there, whether it's on the main feed or the tag photos. Because the reality to it is that they're probably gonna be buying sooner or later, or they might have some real estate questions, okay? A lot of people too ask me about how do you grow your social media really, really fast, but with the right followers, right? Giselle talked about that I'm not trying to talk to real estate agents with my content. I'm trying to talk to people that live in a 15 to 30 minute radius around me personally, right? So for me is that I know to grow a social media following really quick, that's hyper local, which is the most important part to it, is that I'm going on the local coffee shops in the area, the local taco spots, the local burger spots, and things along that nature. So the easiest way to do it to build your following fast is that if there's a local trendy coffee shop in your area, not the Starbucks, not anything else, no chain, but really specific to where you live, you should go on that account, go to their followers, and the reality to it is that all those followers are super, super hyper local to the area already, right? I personally know what my ideal client looks like. It's a young professional that's either buying their first house or they're selling their first home and buying their stepping stone home or their dream home, right? So I just know when I'm going on those Instagram pages of those local coffee shops and following people, I know what my people look like and that's who I'm following. And if I'm following 20 people and it's solely random, is that I'm following their page and it's popping up on their notifications, they're probably gonna look at my profile and the average person's attention span is about 8 seconds long, right? So you need to make sure that your content's well positioned for them to follow you back. Because at the end of the day, they don't owe you that follow back, right? So if I'm following 20, I might get 10 to 50 people that follow me back, and then I just continue to start pouring value into them 24/7, okay? And then the last piece to it is that when it comes to social media and everything else, you just gotta be you. Right? We talked about, Giselle chat about that, AI is huge right now, right? Personally for me is that I think looking at AI, don't think about AI as replacing you, but think about it more as gasoline to your fire already, right? Is that use AI to elevate what you do at a much larger scale. I see a lot of agents just trying to replace themselves with AI. And in my opinion, being great at social media, being great at just hyper-local content also makes you a much better realtor. Instead of just putting in a computer and just having it spit out and creating the avatar and creating video for you already, right? I think when you can put your own emotion to the video, when you can actually talk about the video or talk about the development or the new restaurant coming in the area and why this impacts you as a consumer or impacts you as a homeowner in the area, that's more important than just being robotic, right? And I think a big thing with it is that if you go on any of my social media platforms is that you don't have to reinvent the wheel. I think a lot of agents do the same thing that I do, and there's a lot of agents that also do it in my market, and that's okay. Because personally for me is that I understand is that the people that work with me might not like working with the other person that's posting the same content and vice versa. You just attract your tribe. So when it comes to making content is that I would just find inspiration from agents in your market or agents around the area and pretty much just do what they do, but make it your own thing. And I think that's the most important thing when it comes to it all, when it comes to the social media content as well. So if you can take anything away right now is that hyper-local content is definitely the way to go. I think using hyper-local content in platforms like Instagram and Facebook it's super easy to get in touch with your ideal client as well as meet with people, right? It's honestly a free platform to everyone. When you look at farming, you need to spend money to farm. When it comes to social farming, everyone's Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, it's all free. And all it takes is a little sweat equity in it, and it takes reps. So that's kind of how you use social media to get leads and everything like that. If you have further follow-up questions for me, I'll be over there taking questions if you guys want to chat on anything. But that's all I have today. So thank you.